You sit on the toilet, don't you? Use that as your meditation.
Not my wife, not your wife, nor anybody listening to this podcast has eaten a shit sandwich. We didn't.
Welcome to Recovery Unfiltered. I'm Larry. I'm an alcoholic.
I am Rob. I am also an alcoholic. There are no letters after our names. We know very little.
Very
However,
little.
You will hear the word God and a four-letter word in the same sentence. You will also be offended. So if you are easily offended, just pass us by. This podcast is not for you.
What the fuck was that?
If you don't agree with what we're saying, that's okay. We're going to love you anyways.
I don't know.
Anyway, affiliate
Can you
with
tell
AA?
I'm getting bored with our...
So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, and get ready.
Let's
That's
go.
pretty damn good.
Yeah, those are good. Hi, Robert.
How you doing, kid?
Good, buddy. How are
Hey,
you?
I forgot to tell you, Bonnie wasn't yesterday, day before. She's a kid. Now that she's with Tammy, she's been listening to the podcast.
Well, that's fucked up.
So she goes, but in the last podcast we had Nathan. She said that Larry had said that it's really hard for you. Like when Nathan said, he's just really at peace. Mm-hmm. What is that? The serenity is what, overwhelming calmness.
Overwhelming calmness, and I've used that multiple times this week.
And she said that it's really a lot harder for you now to get upset anymore. And
Ooh, me?
It takes a lot more to get you upset. You don't even, and she says, challenge accepted.
The fucking Bonnie. God damn
She says,
it.
you tell Larry, challenge accepted.
Damn it. What's funny is...
That was loud at first. Am I doing all right now?
Yeah, I turned you back down. Sorry. I don't know where things have gone here. I don't know if one of my grandkids got up here or what. So yeah, I turned everything back down a little bit. So yeah, no, it's very hard for me to get upset anymore. I don't.
Except for, I'm way down now.
Yeah.
Except for the doctor who,
You know what? That was what was so bad about that is just because I had worked so hard to be able to take that time off for my surgery that it was just
it
like.
caught you off guard.
Dude, it caught me so far off guard. I was not, what does it say in our book? We got to always be prepared for the unexpected. And I was not prepared for that at all, man. That one got me. That one got me.
Yes, she did. She got you.
Speaking of getting, so I had the very, very pleasure of taking my daughter, my oldest daughter, Miranda, we bought her, she's had a bucket list thing that she's always wanted to do. She wanted to see Rascal Flatts, they stopped touring a few years back and,
Really?
yeah, and they haven't toured in 7 years, I think it was. So for her Christmas, we gave her tickets to go to Rascal Flatts in Fort Worth, Texas at the Dickies Arena. And it seemed like a real extravagant present to me. But then when we started breaking it down, it really wasn't all that. I mean, it was extravagant, of course, but it wasn't more than what I thought. So we planned it over a period of time, and it was me and Katie and Eric and Miranda, and the four of us haven't really done anything together, just the four of us, in a long time. So my God, what a pleasure it was. It's just, I love those two so much.
We got the pictures. That's what's cool about the men's group.
Right.
All
yeah.
the pictures and stuff. And then,
Yeah. I mean, it was just a pleasure. Katie had had me stop at the hat store. It was an actual, a pleasure.
Speaking of that,
What happened?
because again, I'm knowledgeable in a lot of things, and I'm ignorant to more things than I did not know that a hat would cost that much. I was talking to the boys, like Big Brian, my Indian brother. I said, and I was showing him the hat. He goes, "Man, that's because of the steaming and the stuff."
Right.
And I go, and then I showed him the price. He goes, "Yeah, that's a hand. That's
That's a hand. It's
yeah. Come on, Rob. I didn't know.
no. You know what? When I say I'm blessed, my wife surprised me with that because I was like, because McKenna, my youngest, is getting married, and they wanted me to buy a new hat. The most expensive hat I've ever had was a 20X. That's how they rate the beaver.
The beavers, yeah.
The beaver felt. This one was a 100X. And, oh my gosh, this thing is, they had them in there 200X, but it's like never felt anything like that before, and it's just pristine, and it's it's locked up in my safe right now. That thing's gorgeous.
But you don't buy felt. I mean, straw.
No, I've never been a straw guy.
Because all my buddies, growing up,
Right.
because I never wore.
Yeah.
But they, the seasons change. You go from felt to straw.
For some reason, I've never been able to wear a straw hat. Even in the middle of summer, you'll watch me wearing a felt hat. I don't know why. I just can't wear them. No, I never was one for those. But anyways, it was a fun trip. And so the concert, we flew in on Thursday morning, and the concert that we were going to was Thursday night, right? Tired, blah, blah, blah. We all naps, and then we came home Thursday, Friday, we did the Buc-ee's tour. My wife,
What's the
is
Buc-ee's
a
tour?
fanatic for Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, it's in Texas. I don't know. There's some in Florida. They're a southern. They're just a huge. They're not
Is it
a
food?
travel. No. It's like a big. Think about grocery, like a gas station.
Okay.
On steroids. I'm talking
like a Love's truck stop.
Yeah, but without the diesel.
Okay.
Just gas. And you walk in and it's it's a Walmart of Buc-ee's. I'll send you a video of it. Yeah, I'll send you a video of it inside it. They make briskets and they have just all kinds of, they got big meat counter with all kinds of different beef jerkies and smoked sausages.
That sounds good.
Oh my gosh. Buc-ee's are huge. And anyways, when I say we took a Buc-ee tour, because my wife is infatuated with Buc-ee's, right? She follows us on Instagram. And you can't order none of their stuff online. You have to actually go into the Buc-ee's to buy anything. Yeah.
And they're only back there.
The closest one to us is Western Texas. I mean, they're nothing. It's all east of Texas. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
But yeah, they're something else. You ever walk into one, the experience is different, very much different. Anyway, so Friday we did that. We came home and they were going to go to a concert at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth. Right. And, we had been walking around. We went down, watched the Stampede and did all that. And, talking about the pleasures of being sober, right? I'm able to sit there, enjoy that all day long while my wife and my daughter and my son-in-law, they have their cocktails. They enjoy themselves because my wife can enjoy it because she's not worried about her husband getting drunk and doing stupid shit. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She literally just had a great day and it was just a blessing.
As it's supposed to be.
Went home, went back to the hotel. This is the part I was trying to get to. Went to the hotel, laid down for a little bit. They were going back to the concert at Billy Bob's, and Billy Bob's is the largest bar around. It's like 26,000 square feet, 8 or 9 bars inside. They always have live concerts. I mean, some major people have started there, and it's a beautiful place. Well, they were going to go to a concert that started at 10 o'clock. I can't even remember the guy's name. Anyways, I didn't know who the guy was. I'm not a country music fan anyways. So I told Katie's like, Larry, you don't have to go. You can just stay down. I'm like, okay, I may just stay in the hotel. You guys go have a good time. And the more I laid there, the more I was like, fuck that. If I lay here, they're going to go have a good time. I am going to miss that moment, right? I'm going to miss that moment. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm going to order us an Uber. We're going to go together. Well, don't have to worry about parking. So I ordered Uber to pick us up at 9:15. We go downstairs. See the Uber shows up. I open up so it's my wife, Eric, and Miranda getting in the back seat. And I open up the front door and I look across, and in the middle of the guy's lap is a brown paper bag with about that much blue sticking out from the top of it. And I looked and I go, what's in the bag, Goose? I was just joking. And Rob, he literally did not even hesitate. Bud Light. I'm like, you are not driving my family around with a Bud Light. And he goes, it's okay, man. I'll put it right here. And he put it in the center console. I was like, that ain't going to make it any better, bud. And then, so he left and we got into our vehicle. I just thought, I'm not going to order another Uber. We pull out. As we pulled out of the hotel and turned the corner to go, there's the paper bag and the Bud Light cans laying on the side of the road. It goes back to that is,
wow.
You don't want to judge if somebody's an alcoholic, right? You don't want to do that. But the insanity of driving an Uber car and thinking that it's okay to pick up complete strangers with a Bud Light between your legs. I was just baffled by that.
That's funny.
Baffled. Wow. Anyways.
Hey, at least he was honest.
Oh,
Bud Light?
Straight up. He didn't even hesitate. Bud Light. I'm like, yeah, no. And Miranda was already in the back of this car and everything. And I'm like, Eric.
What'd they say? What'd Eric say?
Eric, as soon as I said it, as soon as he heard it, Eric was looking at Miranda, telling Miranda to get out, right? Because Miranda had already sat down. I mean, if the guy was to get pissed off and took off, Miranda was in the back of the car. But Eric was like, get out. finally got out. It was, I mean, it wasn't like a dramatic thing, but I mean, it was funny for me. And then just the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I can't believe that just fucking happened. I just crazy. Why am I doing all the talking?
No, you're telling the story. What the fuck?
Story,
I don't know the story to tell.
I know, but fucking now Brad's going to say I wouldn't shut up.
He's going to say that no matter what you do. So.
Hey, so this is episode 20 for us.
No, 40.
I'm sorry, episode 40 for us. Yeah. So we got a few things going on. I mean, you and I started talking earlier about a few things when we were doing a little bit of show prep. One of the things that I've been fighting a little bit is, you know, ever since I got sober, I haven't had, I have been fighting. I'll fight depression every once in a while, right?
Now, what do you mean? Break that down for me. What are you feeling when you talk about
just fucking like black cloud? You know, that black cloud that I talk about, just tired, not giving a fuck about anything. You know, getting phone calls and not really just wanting to fucking deal with the phone calls and just not giving a fuck.
Okay.
Right?
Apathy?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Not giving a fuck.
Oh yeah,
Apathetic.
I just not giving a fuck. I just don't, and just zero energy, just nothing, just fucking nothing. You know, and I had that a little bit before we left on our trip, and I had, you know, I've been fighting it back and forth with after my back surgery and going through the pain pills and doing all that shit, and it's just, you know, and I stopped taking the pain pills completely, and that pain is still pretty intense a little bit, and having some problems with that, and you know, that poor me a little bit. But man, I was thinking we got home on Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, it just brutal.
But now, do you think that could have something to do with, I mean, going on that trip with the family, then
there
just,
was no
just the high, then just coming off that?
No, it was absolutely that. It was the same feeling that I had prior. And you know, thank God for my wife. I love her so much because I'm able to talk to her through these things now, because as I told her, when I was drinking and I felt those coming on is when the 36, you know, the 1 or 2 pints of whiskey a day would turn into 4 or 5 pints of whiskey. I would double up my alcohol when I would start feeling that way, because I would go in waves of it. Mm-hmm. So Katie and I really talked about it, and I haven't, you know, I went through some.
How often does it come up, or how?
That's the first time since I've been sober.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. I mean, that's
pretty good. You're damn near 3 years sober. When's your 3 years up?
It's April 12th coming up. Yep.
That's pretty damn good rate. I mean, once in 3 years.
I mean, I've had little ones, bouts, right? I've been through it a little bit, and I'm able to shake them off a little bit by changing my latitude a little bit. You know, hey, no, I got to do something different here. You know, you guys have heard me talk about it, that I got to change something up. Something's not right. I got to change something up. Well, this time, you know, about 2 or 3 weeks, after about 2 weeks of it, I was still trying to change some stuff up, and I just couldn't shake it. And I still really haven't, right? I'm still just working through it. You know, there's still kind of ups and lows right now, but Kate and I talked about it. I actually I'm going to go back to my doctor. You know, I tried a lot of the other medicines, you know, some medicines prior to me, you know, giving up the alcohol and stopping my drinking and getting help. I haven't went back at all. I think that I still fight it a little bit. You know, I think I still have a little bit of that chemical imbalance. So, you know, I thought I'd been fighting through it, and I thought I was going to be okay, but I think I'm still fighting it a little bit. So I do think I'm going to go back to the doctor and get
some professional help.
Get just professional to see. Opinion. Yeah, well, because I don't like
outside help is always
I didn't like
recommended.
I don't like it, right? I don't. You know, the positive thing about it is never at one time did I ever think, fuck it, I'm just going to go drink, right? Never. I mean, that, and Kate and I talked about that a few times too. It's just like how blessed I am for that obsession to be so far gone, right? That I just never even thought that was an answer to any of it. Everything I was doing was, you know, what can I do? How can I change this? What do I need to change? How am I?
Well, the big book talks about some of us need outside help. Right. Go get it.
Right. Yeah. So that's one of the things it's like I said, it's the, what I don't like is my performance shows, right? my performance in work, my performance as a husband, my performance as a dad.
In a bedroom?
No.
In the bedroom?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm fine for me.
I'm good.
I'm good. But it's
I got you. Well, go get some, baby.
No, yeah. I just, I think the reason why I wanted to bring it up is, even if you are sober, this sobriety, this AA, and this how we work through this.
We are not affiliated with AA.
Yes. Thank you, Rob. We
this way of living.
It's a way of living, right? It's a way of living, but I still have things that I need to work on that being sober is not going to fix, right? I mean, the AA group, there's still things that I need to deal with mentally that that AA is probably not going to fix.
Well,
right?
That's outside. That's what we seek.
Right.
Seek
and
it.
It's taken 3 years to get to me to that point, and I'm very much.
But look at the
with
difference.
it.
Look at the difference God's made in 3 years.
It's crazy, right? Just the blessings that's come over, blessings that I've had,
and a lot of clear away the wreckage, get rid of the alcohol,
right?
And let's see. Okay, now,
right now, let's work on. Let's get down to business and work on some stuff. But the other thing I was going to say, is one more thing, because then we're going to start talking about. There's something important we want to go over, but one of the things I love about you, Rob, that you've allowed for me is because of my crazy ass schedule, I can just call you up and go, "Hey, I need to record in a couple hours," and you immediately, "All right, see you in a couple hours." And I appreciate that, because when we started this, we said we're going to try and we're going to drop every week, right? That was my number one goal. We're going to drop something every week.
And we have done that.
We have, right? Today, this will be recording 40, and it'll be 40 weeks in a row that we have dropped. Some of them great, some of them, just you and I bullshitting like we're doing here. But you've always done that, and even with all my crazy ass traveling here and there, you've made that possible, and I appreciate that.
No, you're welcome.
Hey, so I don't want to blow your head up too much, but I appreciate it.
It's still same size. Trust me.
So
I'm right. I'm fucking right size. Sorry about that. I'm right sized.
You are. You get kept there quite often.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that, and I am very excited about this, and I hope to and pray that it continues and this really does come into play. So back on episode 3, we had our first guest was Jason Allen, right? Mm-hmm. Very close, dear friend of ours. For you and
would that
me.
be 3 and 4? Episode 3 and 4?
It was 3 and 4. Yeah, his episode got split up because his story was.
We were just learning. I mean, we were
fresh.
We're still
green.
We're still learning.
We are learning, right? Everything was so green. I mean, we started it in my office with we had crazy mic stands, and
But the one thing that was with the consistent when you asked about this and decided to do this and all the prayer. We knew who the first guest we wanted.
Oh, Jason was from the very beginning.
There was no question.
No question that Jason was going to be that first guest.
And here we are, yeah.
Yeah, so here we are then at episode 20. So what I'm saying is please go back and listen to episodes 3 and 4. And you're going to know why here in just a minute, because I'm going to kind of preference why. So 3 and 4 is important. And then episode 20... all during that, my wife kept telling me, Katie kept saying, "Larry, Jason's story is not finished. Jason's story is not finished." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "There's still so much more that you need to come. You need to get Jason in here so we can get the afterwards, right? What it's like, what it's like."
And the second family,
and Jenny was in here, and which Jenny's got her podcast going now after she's been on here. She's doing very good with hers. So we got in here, and we got Jason on number 20, right? So about 6 months ago, we had a gentleman come into the program that reached out to you, was a good friend of yours prior to it. He was not.
Who?
Mikey.
No,
you didn't really know him before?
I only met him one or two times when the accident happened way back when,
Okay.
And when, we'd get together, we'd have like parties in Tyler, and that's when I only met him a couple of times. We didn't know each other. We just met. Hi, this is Mike. And,
really?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
when he came in, I just kept starting giving him a ration of shit.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, how the steps coming? Because I know
Okay.
he's not doing them, so I was just busting his.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we shook hands and went back and forth for a little while. And about 2 months, about 2.5 months into it, I knew he was fairly new to sobriety and fairly new. And probably about 2 or 3 months into it, I think you told me or somebody told me and goes, that's Mikey's dad who was in the accident with Jason Allen. I'm like,
Right.
with Tyler. And I'm like, what? Really? And I'm like, wow. So every time I've gotten to know Mike a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more as he's coming through the program. And, and watching him come alive has been amazing. Has he started working the steps with you?
No.
Is he going to?
No. I don't know. He's got a, okay, I'm doing air quotes. He's got a, and I like the guy who's his sponsor, who's not in the rooms right now. I don't know if I should even say all this bullshit.
No.
No, he's not actually working steps.
Okay,
He's talking
I
about
think he's getting there. I think because I have literally watched.
He bet,
Mike,
boy, he's going because I bust his balls so
I know
much
you
about
do.
it. He's going to do it.
He calls how
or
much
he's going to
he
go
hates
get drunk. One of the two.
He ain't going to. I'm going to tell you right now. I think Mike, watching him where he's at right now,
Yeah.
I think
he's
Mike.
I think because we're going to have both these men on the
Right.
podcast. The next two, this 40 is going to be this one.
Yep.
Then 41 to 42 are going to be Mike and we've done Ruden to anybody. Mike and Jason.
Right. It's not. I mean, we didn't. Yeah. It's. And this is what's
And that's
going to
be fucking power. And I'm
Yeah,
using that
I'm
word
just-
powerful.
Well, and I think the
gonna
reason
cry
why
again.
I wanted to preference me too. I'm even thinking about it. I mean, and I'm just going to keep praying that. I mean, they both agreed, right? It's
they're
there.
coming.
See
that?
It's only today.
I already got Jason on the mat. I balled him up a little bit.
That's funny.
I'll be there, Rob. They'll be there. They'll be there. And I saw him on Thursday, which is yesterday,
Yeah.
at my meeting. And he goes, "Oh, man!" I was joking with Mike, who's in the back, who came in late, and I gave him one of these. Come in late to my fucking meeting, man. And I said, "Hey, well, that's all right. We're going to see you on the." Oh, did I agree to that? He was joking around.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
But
did.
what makes it more comfortable is he knows Jason's going to be here, so that's really when he actually got excited, Larry. To be quite honest.
Well, and the reason why this came up for me is because Mike started coming into our. Did we really say that Mike's son and Tyler were in that accident together? We said that?
You just did.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to make sure. I thought I jumped over that. Maybe I thought I maybe did, but
It's just Mike's voice, Mikey.
Right.
He died on
impact.
He died at the scene.
right.
Tyler lived for 3 to 4.
Yes. So
a
Tyler.
period
So
after- a
that.
period after
So
that.
we're gonna have Mike here, whose son died on impact, and then Jason, whose son lived for a few years. Jason
And then
got
passed,
sober a few years after
Tyler.
Tyler.
Mike's
Mike
working on it.
working on it right now, and and what, like I said, going back to watching him grow in his sobriety has been, and I've said this, on the mic before, is watching people go from 0 to 6 months to a year, watching that flower come to bloom.
If it does, if they're doing the deal,
Correct.
it does. If they're,
No,
if they're just,
that's, and you're
if they're
right,
just
Rob.
spending
You're
time
right,
in the rooms,
but watching it, and you can tell, right?
Oh, fuck yeah,
You can tell the ones that aren't growing because they're just sitting there and they're still just that dark cloud over them, right? But the ones that you watch, they're putting in the work. You're seeing them at 1 meeting, then 2 meetings, then 3 meetings. Then you're seeing them being involved, and they're talking, and they're getting there, and they're sharing stuff that they haven't shared before. And Mike's going to share. Mike started sharing, and he started coming to our Mondays meeting. And as soon as I saw him there, I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Right? I get excited. And then to hear him start sharing and bringing out some of the stuff that he's did, and that
well, and he's been instrumental because Jason's been busy. So he hasn't. I mean, I talked to him to help with Matt. I'm talking about Matt. We've heard Matt and Mary's story when they lost Adam.
Right.
But Mike has been on a couple of occasions been really instrumental in helping me with Matt and helping Matt. Point blank. Because they've got that.
Right.
They have that in common.
Same way as they have the alcoholism.
Right. So
it's just
what a gift.
It is, and you know what?
Painful gift.
It is, and I'm so blessed that God has, given us the opportunity to have this quorum we're having, this venue to allow Jason and to allow Mike come on here and to share this story to more people than just, you know, the Monday night groups, the Thursday night groups. And, you know, and this is why I wanted to share.
Let me tell you something. There almost, I don't know how many people, but there's a lot of folks at the Oakdale Fellowship and beyond who are listening to this now.
Yep.
Modesto Fellowships that are listening. Oh, you guys got the podcast. Yeah. I want to be on it, people.
No, I know. We got a good little list of, hold on a second. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah. Send me a picture.
Dude, that is some painful stuff.
Inside the arm, I bet.
Oh, I got Serenity put on the inside of my bicep. Holy cow.
Looks good, though.
Hey, you know what's funny and ironic about that? Nothing about that was serene.
I bet. Yeah. It is now. But
I actually even looked at the tattoo guy. I go, do you actually realize you're tattooing Serenity?
Now, how long does some work like that take?
That right there was about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Not long.
Okay.
My lab was, can you see that?
Yeah.
My lab on the backside, that was about 2.5 hours. Yeah. I'm done.
What would that Serenity cost?
I don't want to talk about that on the air.
Why? What's the difference? Your
Let's
hat
just
costs
tell me
$1,400.
Why are you doing that on the air?
What does it matter?
I don't want that shit out on the air. God damn it. I'm cutting all this. Hey, yeah, it's not cheap.
Okay. That's
no tattoo is cheap.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm sure some of them
Let
look
me
cheap.
just tell on this arm right here, you could have bought a small car.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but, you know, and I tell people all the time, everything on this arm tells my story. It starts from my sobriety date to the unity triangle. Yeah. Everything on here tells my story. It's my Serenity all the way. Anyways, I don't know how I got fucking down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. It happens.
I think because I'm over here and the fucking arm is bloodshot red.
September.
What happened?
Hold on. You start talking, I'm about to sneeze.
Don't do that. I'm going to go back to what we were talking about before I rudely interrupted us. My point was in bringing up the thought of these two coming onto the podcast. Two things. One, it's a way to push it because we've kind of stalled out right now at about 18 to 2,200 listeners, depending on the episode. So I'm trying to get back out there because I want to get
some
more
video.
People.
Then
we need to start video. Whatever we need to do to start
September.
pushing this.
Speaking of that, I don't know whether even that comes. September, Emily.
Okay,
is going to be on.
Oh, did you get her? Okay, all right.
She goes, I'll do it she goes, after my 1 year. So when's your 1 year? September. You got it.
All right. We'll put that on. I got another girl that I worked with years ago. She's been sober probably almost 20 years. And she reached out to me. She goes to Turlock Fellowship. She wants to be on here. Good friend. Yeah. We got some good stuff coming on. But the other reason to bring it up, like I said, is please don't listen to that episode. It's going to be very, very emotional.
Please don't listen to it?
No, please don't listen to it at work or driving. I'm just going to say it could be very emotional, but please tell somebody about it. Please, if they're going to listen to it and never listen to the Jason A.
Listen to 3 and 4.
You got to listen to 3 and 4. You got to understand that the wreckage that Jason went through. But then again, listen to number 20, which is, the opposite of Jason's wreckage, this wonderful life that he lives now. So listen to episode 20, and number 41 is going to be Jason A. and Mike S. Talking about, that'll probably
kind
be
of like Mike's story.
It's going to be 2 episodes, right?
Mike's version.
Right. We're going to do 2 episodes. We're going to do Mike S.'s story, right? We're going to tell his story, and then we're going to come back with Jason A. and Mike, right? Because we're good friends before, right? Yeah. They're all part of that wrestling community. Mm-hmm. And then the second episode is going to be the 4 of us talking about, whatever, bringing all this to light, talking about this, and talking about his story with Jason included. And Jason's a very bright. I mean, he's a bright guest. I love it. I love it when he's on here. And I'm very excited for it. So anyways, we had to get it. We didn't have to, I wanted to get an episode out. I didn't want to miss an episode. I didn't want to miss a week. I know this seems like a very short one, but I feel like I've been talking the entire time.
You have been. Which is perfect.
Fucker. I could have done this without you today then.
I got a new sponsee.
Who? Oh, that's what other thing I wanted to talk about. Who's your new sponsee? Have you never sponsored him before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I'm bringing that up. I don't care, Byron. I fucking love you and I love you to death. And I would cut off an right arm for that man.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on this podcast someday because he's got a fucking story that'll make your dick. Oops. Sorry, I'll back up. He's got a story that'll absolutely curl your toes.
Yeah.
Right? To hear what he's been through and to still fucking drink.
Yeah. Is cunning, baffling, powerful.
Wow.
And patient.
Yes.
Alcohol.
So I just absolutely, I love that man. I spoke to him this morning.
So we just hope he's in enough pain.
Have you punched him like you said you're going to?
No, I haven't, because
You know what? There you go, Rob.
I know I didn't keep my
There's
word.
got to be consequences to your actions.
What if I told him, if you did it again, I was going to bust
You
your
should
nose.
have told him the only way I'm going to sponsor you again is if you let me punch you right in the mouth.
Then you won't be able to speak for days, so that ain't gonna.
I
So
want
tell
you
you
to
what.
edit this episode so you can hear that swallow.
Sorry about that.
Fucker.
Sorry. No, but we've got, and to because I did not keep my word on my fourth rule. Right.
You let him waste your fucking time.
Yeah, I did. I allowed it. And now you're gonna hear people say, "Oh, helping people is never a waste of time." Go fuck yourself. Don't tell it.
I would
can
agree
be,
with you, Rob.
It can be a waste of time. Yes, it is.
Right. I would agree
anyway.
with you.
So I did allow him to waste my time. We're gonna come on new ground. But I too, he's my brother. I love him, and I don't. Okay, just because I tell someone, hey, you know what, it's time to go find another sponsor. Doesn't mean I've given up on you. It means we're not right.
Right.
Whatever's going on,
right.
Go find something else. Because there's someone that wants the way I'm going to deliver, whatever.
Right.
So
but
I don't. It's not like I'm giving up on him. If I fire somebody, they'll go find another sponsor.
You know what, Rob? We could sit here and talk all the big, big bullshit we want. At the end of the day, we love, right? We love. We help. We're no matter what. The way I deal with my pain with certain people is I have to say I don't fucking care. Inside it's breaking our hearts, right?
Yeah.
Inside it's tearing me down. That Chris, I spoke to his sister the other day and said, "How's he doing?" I don't know. Haven't seen him. And okay. So in my heart, I'm like, fuck it, right?
But not really.
Right? Because it hurts.
Because,
I put a lot of fucking time.
And because we know with someone like Chris, the next thing we're actually going to hear about him from someone.
A read in the obituary.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's going to be dead. We know that.
Right. And basically she said he's right back to where he was at.
Yeah, of course. That's what
right back.
The big book says that.
So anyways,
baffling.
Yeah. So anyways, we had another brother that fell off, and I pray for them. I check on them every day, and it's hard.
What bugs you about it is the fact that I call, I can call it within the day.
Well, and I think that was something I wanted to bring up, and I've already talked to those guys. Listen, Rob, and I want to make sure everybody knows Rob is not a medium. He can't see the future or anything else like that, but he can see the tells, right? He sees it. You fucking called on the one, right? You fucking called it. You said it ain't very far out. And sure enough, it fucking wasn't very far out. The other one, you said it the other day, and I was like, no way, he's not back to drinking. And you said, yeah, sure enough, he was. And, and it's just those telltale signs. And I wanted to ask you, without bringing up names, tell me some of those signs that you see.
It's like a poker game.
Okay.
Well, that's what a tell is. When someone's got a good hand or a bad hand, or when you've seen or you've been around them so long, and some are the same.
Right.
But when the communication starts to slow down,
okay,
that behavior starts to change, and then when you do talk to them, man, everything is
beautiful,
going great.
Yeah.
Hold on now, and then or they show up to the meetings when the pain is on them. When they fucked up again,
right? They're
engaged. They're at meetings, and even if they're not every meeting, the meetings that they're at, they're focused, they're engaged in what's going on. And then as the heat starts to drop, they're not really doing the deal. They're doing just enough.
Right.
Then this shit starts.
Looking at the phone during the meeting.
They're at fewer meetings and they're not engaged.
Right.
Everything's a fucking joke.
Right.
That kind of stuff starts happening, and then it's
slow.
And and I had told the one some of his tells, and he knows. So he was, right. I'm calling you. I'm calling you just so you know I'm doing all right. I know.
Yeah,
And just because I don't say it,
right. I you know,
and I tell you guys because I know.
well,
it's a
you
gift.
do. Well, because I ask,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you know, and I think the reason why I bring that up is, you know, some of our listeners, if the wives are listening of an alcoholic, you know, what's our sign? What's something that we can see? And I mean, I would imagine.
And they know it. And I have one of the wives, which
Right.
some people, again, the same thing that when I talk to you, like you or, and you know, I've talked about this, that sometimes it does bother you if a wife reaches out to me because, well,
It doesn't bother me as much anymore because, anyways, go ahead.
but those communications, just same like when I'm doing step work, what do I tell you?
Right.
What I rule, my rules,
Right.
what I say to you and what you say to me stays between you, me, and God.
Right.
It ain't your wife's fucking business.
Right.
It ain't my wife's fucking business. So when I'm talking to a wife, I tell her the same thing. What you and I talk about, because she's the one that reached out to me
Right.
to help her. Would you please help my husband? Sure.
Right.
She was the one that initiated everything.
Right.
But when we talk, if you ever use my words,
Against him.
we're done, and I'm done with him, and I'm done with you too.
Right.
But so which has never happened. But
Right.
still, you know, they know.
Yeah.
They know. If you started fooling, Katie would know.
Oh, for
As
sure.
quick as I would.
No, she would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I started pulling away, and I think that's what Katie, that, you know, when I start going through these little depression, and I hate to even call it that, but it is what it is, right? I
Got to give it a name,
you
buddy.
got to give it a name, right? And I'm once again gonna take care of it. You know, she can see it, but here's the difference for me, and I hopefully this will help some other men. As I felt it, I talked to her about it.
You've got to
before.
voice it. You've
I
got to
did.
vocalize it. You have to.
Because I don't want her going through those feelings of the same feelings that she was getting when I was drinking, right? I don't want her having those feelings. So as I'm feeling this, on Tuesday, I think it was, where it was just hitting me the hardest, I called her. I said, "Hey, babe, I just got to tell you, this is what's going on."
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah, let's go. I think this is what you should do." But, but anyways, that's the reason why I wanted to bring it up a little bit.
And what I'm gonna do,
Open up a little bit about me on that, because it's, I've talked about it, and I said my serenity, and I'm missing a little bit of my serenity right now, and I'm not getting it, and I'm doing the things that I've known to do, and I've switched
which
things
is good because sometimes the growth,
right.
you're in it because you're coming up on 3.
Right.
And
Right.
that also hits you when you're coming up.
For some reason, it still
does.
hits me every year.
And
For
it
some
will.
reason.
So this is a
Right.
period of growth, a
Right.
season of growth.
Right.
Good.
So, I mean, I just a little bit, and getting that serenity, getting that overwhelming calmness has not been easy for me. And so I just want to get that, and I want to let wives know, if you're seeing that in your husbands or husbands to their wives, if you're seeing that uneasement, it's different. Try to open up a conversation.
Don't wait for it to go off the rails. Say something.
No, absolutely.
Reach out,
because
it probably won't change a fucking thing.
No, just like
Sorry
with our
about
two
that,
buddies.
but it
No,
won't.
and you're right. Just like our two buddies that we were just talking about. I don't know if it would have changed anything
Nope.
with them.
I've tried.
Those two had reservations, and they're not going to change it.
And here's what I want to say about sponsorship, and because when B reached out to you and said one day and you
Right,
said
right.
and you wanted to get an answer out of him, and he says, well, I'm working with Rob, as if that's some kind of magic fucking elixir. It's not. I mean, even though God has had great success,
Right.
great success through me.
Right.
With other
Oh, for sure.
amazing. We don't get him drunk.
Nope.
And we don't get them sober.
Nope.
It's all
1,000%.
It's them.
1,000%.
It's them and God. We're just facilitators. It's a conduit.
1,000%.
So, and that's one you want to be. That you want to know I'm right sized. Those two cocksuckers will keep you right sized. You think, fucking Jesus. Hey, you got your head so far up your ass, you're counting cavities. Like, come on, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
when the first one came into Monday night and he sat down and that brokenness on his face, I wanted to just
cry.
I got,
Just cry, but you're so mad
I'm
too
like,
because
I never did get mad.
I did.
Rob,
because
I'm sure you did because of the amount of time that you've put into that person, right? I didn't. I wanted to get inside and pull all that pain out of him and hold on to that
I'm
pain.
mad because
You were pissed because of the amount of work, I would think.
No. That's because that's not. And I joke, it's a waste of my fucking time. Not. I love him.
Right.
and the danger, the position you put yourself in.
Oh my God.
With
Oh
the
my God.
shit that's out there,
Him
one
and I-
touch, you're
right.
dead. And then now, you're fucking dead.
Right.
I stand in front of your fucking kids.
Right.
And explain.
Right.
Not you.
Yeah, Rob, why
That's
couldn't
why
you
I'm
do
pissed.
more? Yeah. Yeah, and you've talked about that, of having to deal with that before. And it just, it's,
Because he's family.
yes, he is.
That's family.
Everybody in that room on Monday night's family to me.
But that motherfucker's family. I mean, like you.
You're right. Yeah,
that's
you're right.
family.
They're a little closer than most, right? You're over there quite a bit, but yeah, I don't know, man. I like I said it, and it seems like those two go out at the same time. You ever notice that?
They've gone out together before, too.
Have they really?
Yeah. Not too long ago.
Oh my God, I love you too if you're listening.
More than life. I love you more than life. Hey, but you know what?
Fuck.
It's this constant reminder. Well, fuck it. It sure isn't good out there. I'll stay sober. Watching them.
that is a good thing, right? For
yeah.
the only, my brother Brad says the same thing.
It still don't work.
The great thing about those guys going out is it gives us something to watch.
Because by God, they're trying. They're giving it. A for effort, boys. But I appreciate the fact that
Thanks for taking one for the team.
come to those scouts.
We'll stay right here.
We got local scouts. They come out with arrows stuck in their ass. Engines are still out there, boys.
That fucking alcohol still grabs you. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just,
But and we can laugh at that
yeah, we can.
until one of them doesn't make it back in the rooms, because not only did
you know what, though? Both of those guys would laugh about that themselves, right? We're going to have both of them on here one day. We're going to have them on together.
We've been fucking trying.
We're going to, one of them, but I think
No, I do. We would love it to have them.
both of them on at the same fucking time next week. Why they're still going through this? Let's work it out together right here on the fucking
You know
air.
that? Well, we got Mike.
I know.
Mike, but you know what? That's not a fucking bad idea.
I almost told you to grab them and bring them.
So what? Anyway,
I almost told you to grab them and bring them here.
that's not a bad idea.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, you're talking green, fresh.
Grab both of them, put them right here on these mics, and we'll work it out right here.
That shit is still green.
You know what, though, and what they need to understand is it's not just helping them, helping us, the amount of people we can reach to help other people with their stories and what they struggle with. The telltale signs of shit is just going good, and then fuck it, right? Fuck it. You know what I mean? The fuck that. I just, I think I get so fucking mad at it because, once again, I'm going to turn around and look at me, just how much I travel, the amount of shit that I go with, the amount of bars I'm in, all the shit that I do, how easy it would be to say, fuck it, right? How easy. You wouldn't know, Katie wouldn't know, nobody would fucking know. Nobody. But why? I have to live with myself.
You would.
God
would.
I have to live with myself.
Hey.
I don't know how you can do that.
Well,
I don't.
What I'm always wondering. I don't think either one has had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps.
No.
A real one. If
You said that earlier today when
don't think they
you
have,
and I
because
were
I've
talking.
seen it,
Yeah.
and I've worked with both of them.
Right.
Aaron from Jump Street,
Right.
and he's had periods, but he's always had reservations.
Right.
There's always been, because the minute this is another thing that pisses me off. The minute he just looks God's way, blessings start coming.
Yes. Yep.
And I think that's a bad thing. But who am I to question God? I
No,
just see it.
I agree.
And then what if I don't want what God wants for me? And I've heard that mentioned many times. Like, why wouldn't you? But still,
Right.
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's
It's a
crazy.
key. When you're in your ministry, when God,
And he does well at it.
but when God's got you and you're doing like what I'm doing,
Right.
It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of work.
It'll soak. You want to
Dude,
talk
I was
about
soaked
soaking mentally soak it right out of you.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
yeah. And I was doing it yesterday. Just to go to the meeting early, sit down with a couple guys, just to work
Right.
through some things, which I love to do.
Right.
But there's a cost.
Yep.
And they don't want to pay the cost.
Right. Yep. That's the other thing is I was going to ask you, you got to be getting close to your girl coming home.
Wednesday at 1:30, she's flying to Sacramento. Wednesday. No one's more ready than she is. She is.
It's not because of Tammy. She loves Tammy.
Oh, they love each other, but
Right.
it's a lot. She's away
ready
from her
to come
home.
Yeah.
It's in a little apartment, and whenever because Tammy can't move a lot, she can't. So
Right.
in the middle of the night, so Bonnie's not getting any sleep.
All right. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do.
Down, up. What's that?
You're going to shut that fucking phone off at 1:30
Oh,
and
yeah.
not turn it back
No.
on until you go to work the next morning.
I'm not going to work next morning.
Then fucking leave it off.
Well, I'm picking her up at the airport. I've already got a hotel right by the Texas Roadhouse in Elk Grove.
Attaboy.
The Fairfield Marriott. We're right there.
You couldn't even wait to get home to get your pants off, could you?
Then we're gonna get a steak. We got a hotel. Then in the morning we'll get up, drive slow.
I'm so fucking happy for you, Rob. And shut that goddamn phone off.
Oh, it's going off.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Leave that fucker in the car. Enjoy her. Mm-hmm. Enjoy her. You both deserve it. Yeah.
No, you know what she's getting.
You drank. Fucking
Sorry.
God dang it.
Mark that down.
Fucking brick.
All she wants is to lay her head on my chest for a while and a back rub. Because she hasn't been getting her back rub. She hasn't been getting her foot rubs. I'm a massage. I got magic hands. So that's what she loves. She hasn't got any massages, any rub downs.
I'm happy for you. You know what? I was thinking about that coming home, that she had
and
to
that's
get close.
another thing on top of, because God doesn't slow down.
Right. No.
With what he asks of me to do, helping.
No.
And then I had on top of,
you've had a rough 6 weeks, bro.
No, it's been full. It's been really.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It hasn't been rough. It's been full.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been full, and it's time for you to rest.
A lesson learned.
Time for you to rest. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you're going to get some rest on Wednesday night, and all you knuckleheads from Monday night, don't be calling our boy.
Call if you want. Hey, fuck, I'll be off.
Right.
It goes straight to voicemail.
I'm gone for the next 3 weeks from Monday night.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. All right, brother. Let's get out of here. Katie's waiting for me.
Next Sunday. Oh,
wait. Hold on. Nope. Everybody that left, come back.
Come back. You can catch us at Recovery Unfiltered Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah. I had 4 comments from the last one that said, and honestly, love Nathan. I mean, we did great. Just had the response that I got on Nathan's was pretty decent. I need to send those to him.
Yeah.
He had 3 good
Bonnie
responses.
loved him.
Yeah. He had 3 really good responses. So I need to get that over to him. So anyways,
Recovery Unfiltered Podcast at gmail.com.
I love him. Yeah, love him. All right. Thanks, Rob.
Later.
Thank you for joining us today.
We hope you learned something today that will help you.
If you did not, come back next week and we'll try again.
If you like what we heard, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what you heard, kiss my... You can't say that, can you? Anyway, if you don't like what you heard, go ahead and tell us that too. We'll see what we can improve. We probably won't change nothing, but do it anyway.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Come back next week and hopefully something will be different and something will sink in.
This has been Recovery Unfiltered.